Hey everybody, Colby Logan here with Pickler Universe here out at MLP 2025. What a great tournament thus far. We've been watching some of the play over here, and it's been amazing. I'm sitting here with my good buddy, Doug Kite, with Proline Pickleball and Proline Paddles. And Doug and I have been playing together for quite a while now here at Lifetime Fitness in Allen, and he is joined forces with a buddy of his, and they are releasing a paddle here, the Proline line of paddles. Man, how's it going?
It's going great.
Yeah.
It's taken a lot more work than I thought it was going to take to get things right.
Yeah.
And I'd say we're about 85% of the way there.
Yeah. I mean, you knew going in, I mean, releasing a paddle line in the world of paddles and the number of players in the game, you know, it's like, wow, that it's almost like you just have to jump right in with all the naivete of what's ahead of you, because if you knew everything that you knew now that you were going to face, would you have even started?
It'd have been a more difficult decision, to say the least. But, you know, fortunately, DJ is, you know,
your partner DJ in this.
Yeah, he's done similar things like this before in the racquetball world, so he had a very good grasp on a lot of things.
Y'all had your so many years in racquetball, like a lot of time in racquetball, you and DJ.
Correct.
And so you leverage that experience. DJ obviously has a marketing company. It's called
D2 Designs.
D2 Designs, and I've been to their offices, and they are it's such a cool office that he has there. Very creative space, and he's obviously a really creative guy. I wish he was here for an interview as well. He's a good guy to talk to.
He would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with his background already, you know, in the world of rackets back then, paddles today, you know, he was familiar with a lot of things that gave a lot of depth to what he wanted to do, right? And he actually patented something called skins in the racquetball world, which translates or transfers over to the paddle world. This right here is a patented type design. And
I have one on mine. You gave me when CK and I traveled to. So this is the paddle I like here, Doug. And I know we're still working through all the approval on this one. Proline Precision, I've been playing with this one since you put it in my hands, and you saw what I did with it immediately. This Proline Precision, I'm eager for this to get approved, and I know it will eventually, but this thing just has a perfect amount of power and control, in my opinion. Everyone's different. But, yeah, these skins, you guys made us a custom skin here for Pickle Breakers for the world record team that CK put together, and we've got a big vision for what Pickle Breakers is going to be. But you made us this custom skin. That was really, really cool. Yes. I love it.
So those custom skins, anybody can get them on our website. They're $25 for 5 custom skins. All right. The other skins that we have for the paddles come 5 to a paddle and are free. But this is what you took on a trip to China and helped give you some recognition out there. You also talked about the integrity of the paddle with the skin on it. What did you?
You know what? That is a good point. Most of my paddles, durability obviously being such a big topic with paddles, because they will break down. You know, I mean, excuse me. We know that they're getting so much better, I will say. The paddles seem to be holding up well, but it's inevitable. You're gonna dive and hit the ground, and I found that on the forehand side, on the underside, it breaks down. And, you know, if you have an edge on it, it starts to split. But I found that with the skin on it, it hasn't split yet. So that's kind of an interesting thing. It's almost like the skin, or some people would put edge guard tape anyway.
Yeah.
But it's acting like edge guard tape, and it's actually holding up the integrity of this better. It would normally be split by now, and it's not. So that's been real refreshing that it's helped with that for sure.
So the update on the paddle scene for us is that we just got 2 paddles approved by the USAPA organization, which is great. We have another 2 that are pending. And then we have a new paddle coming out that's going to be the elongated version of the Precision. And we got asked about that by a number of different people because a lot of ex-tennis players like an elongated paddle.
Sure.
And
now, is there a limit to how long the paddle can be? Okay,
yes.
so you are limited by how.
There's a limit into the overall width and length. Dimension-wise. Combination of 24
weight?
inches. No.
So that's interesting. There's not a limit on weight.
Not that I'm aware of.
No, I think you're right. And I just find that interesting. Obviously, we know that like club head speed and paddle speed, ultimately that and whatever the material is on here, the spring back, the coefficient of restitution, the PV core, all of those play into the kind of speed you're going to get on the ball coming off the paddle. But weight, you would think would ultimately play into that, but there's not a limit on weight. I don't know. It's interesting how they're approaching, what's legal and what's not.
So, I travel around quite a bit talking to a number of different players, and the interesting thing about weight, a lot of players, high-level players, will weight their paddles depending upon, what they want to accomplish with twist rate or head weight
and they use the lead tape.
They use lead tape a lot of times, And of course, in our system, we have 2 paddles that have a weight system in and of itself that have 4 different weights that are blanks, no weight, 1.7 grams, 2.7 grams, and about 3.8 grams.
So you literally you can put in different sizes on these little screw-in inserts, and essentially achieve what the lead tape might do. So you can play with how that twist might feel.
And how it feels to you as a player, right? So talking with, this guy has a 5.4 Duper rating in Houston. He's a good player. He's won a PPA event with his doubles partner. I was asking him about, the weight of the paddle and what it is. He says, for him, he's a big guy too, right? That's the difference. He's 6'2", 6'3", weighs 220, powerful guy, young guy, 20 years old. And he puts about, at least, I'm going to say 8 grams of weight to his paddle. So he might be playing with a paddle that weighs 8.7 grams. And then we were doing a speed test one day, and I said, let's see how fast you can serve the ball. And he was getting around 60-ish, with his one paddle. Then he put out a different paddle, and the difference was it was like 9 point something ounces, right?
Okay.
So he had a little bit more mass, but with the power that he has, he was able to get up to like 65.
Okay.
But the reason he doesn't play with that because of the control.
Sure.
And then also the hand speed at the net on speed ups.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest critical factor for him is being able to maneuver that paddle at the net quickly.
Yeah. Well, and we just saw that over here watching this last game. I mean, it's incredible to see the reaction time of these professionals. I mean, the way that they're able to very comfortably stand there and without much motion at all be able to have a paddle arrive. This is just a split-second time, and it's so much fun to watch. But yeah, I mean, if it's just too heavy of a paddle, it's going to get there too late.
Yeah.
So I can see how that's
or being able to flick it.
Yeah.
In a quick way.
Yeah.
So one of the things I was watching this morning I was watching Ben Johns play his first matches, and I was looking at the how they were playing and setting up the ball and doing their drops, and a lot of the drops come in high.
Sure.
Over the net, right? And they pound it back, no problem, reset, come in high, pound it back, reset. In our game, if we do that, we may not get it back, right?
Yeah,
or maybe get slammed somewhere else.
It's over.
In their game, it's interesting. They purposefully just get it up there and get it over. Now, as they get closer, it gets more refined. But in the beginning, it's just coming over there, and it's like, okay, because more often than not, they're going to get to the kitchen.
Yeah, it's an interesting chess match to watch at that level. I was talking about that with Cole Whitaker, who I'll have sit down here for an interview at some point. Cole and I were talking about how at this highest level of pickleball, it seems like you really see more dinking. You see more net game and more
For sure.
more chess match of like, of course, they could play nothing but a power speed up game the whole time, but they're all good at that. And so their ability to, again, we keep saying chess match. A lot of people use that analogy. I think that's exactly what it is. But Cole and I were talking about that. It's difficult to play with some of these up and comers because their power game is so big, and at the up and come level, a lot of times they don't even use the short game, mid game. They're just going to power it through. And
the reason is they can overpower you, but those guys at the upper levels can reset so easily. That's the big difference.
Right.
Is the ability to reset that ball coming at you like incredibly fast.
Right.
Unless the angle is just way out of reach, they're going to reset it.
Sure.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
That I see.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I completely agree. Now, you've traveled around quite a bit. You've been down to Houston to see your buddy Romy Maxey. Did
Correct.
I say that name right?
Romy Maxey, yes.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about him. How do you think, have you seen a indoor facility that really kind of compares to this size? I haven't, and I've traveled around a bit too to some facilities. I haven't seen one size-wise indoor that really compares with Pickler Universe.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. This is an exception to the norm, right? I mean, I can't even imagine what the money nut on this thing is, but it's got to be extraordinary because there is no other facility like this that I'm aware of.
Yeah,
right?
No, for sure. And I think that's the recognition that we want to give to Pickler Universe is they are making such a big investment here in the DFW area with this facility. It's certainly a gamble. They do have a good location here, and they are just continuing forward at breakneck speed. And they got the second location that is, as soon as this tournament's over, they're going full force into getting that facility.
Correct.
That from what I'm hearing, won't be quite the size of this, but it's truly going to become the home base of the Dallas Flash and really be able to get all of the they're going to need all the facilities to take care of pro athletes and and I'm sure all of those medical facilities and therapy, the physical therapy side of
and it's centrally located, DFW airport area in the middle, easy to get out on a flight. If people live in various areas. Easy to get to, so. Yeah,
Pickler Universe doing it right over here in Carrollton, Texas. Well, Doug, what do you think? I do want to, I wanted to lean into this one more time. You were with me when I first busted this out. The Rock. I know.
Ref on court.
The referee on court. This thing is so funny, man. I was talking with Ryan Lelf, who's married to the duper Caroline, who we need to chat with here soon. I said he hadn't seen this, and I said, "Hey, all right, you're out with your buddies. You had the most amazing point ever. Somebody finally wins the point. Everybody's huffing and puffing, and then you're like, "Hey, man, what's the score? Who's serving? Where the hell are we?"
No, that's not right. No.
Yeah. It's second serve, not first serve. Hey, with the ref on court. No, this thing's great, man. I mean, and we demoed it. You tried it out with me, and it works all through Bluetooth. There's an app for it. And I randomly just brought it to the court that one day at Lifetime, and we used it for our morning session for a couple hours. We haven't used it since. I don't know why, because the damn thing worked perfect.
It's hilarious. I love it.
It worked perfect.
Yeah.
And there's so much gratification about winning the rally and being like, boop, you know, calls out the score. So, I mean, for everybody watching, I got to be plugging this thing. I get no commission from Ref on Court. This is a buddy of mine out of Florida developed this thing and handed one to me at during our China trip, and we used it over there a couple times, and I was like, what is going on? This thing's crazy, you know. And so anyway, good job, Fang, with your referee on court. I think these are going to be real big for him. So, but I wanted to share that with you because you were there when I busted it out.
I thought it was hilarious. It was just great, you know, the way it talks to you. And
yeah. Well, we certainly have appreciated, you know, all of us that went on the China trip with the Pickle Breakers. We certainly appreciated all the swag you gave us. These great Pro-Line bags. These are awesome. Kind of has a vintage look. And I'll have to admit, I overpacked. I
see that, Kobe.
Overpacked my bag. I mean, this thing was like way too heavy, and I reached down and jerked up on it. And anyway, I broke my strap.
Yeah.
It's not the fault of your. I promise I overpacked it. Yeah. We were throwing those things around everywhere, but
yeah. So as a final comment from my end, like I said, we have 2 more paddles that should be approved by the August time frame. Fairly certain of that. Another new elongated model coming out, and now we're going to start the push for getting team players on board.
Yeah.
Around the Texas and obviously the U.S. as well. So look forward to more of that coming out soon. And
sure. Well, you know, it's you and I were chatting about, you know, I think you want to get look, you've got a great product, and I know it because I play with it every day. And you know, you guys aren't paying me to say that by any means. I genuinely love the racket, and I wouldn't play with it if it didn't make me a better player. So that's easy to say. I want the paddle that's going to make me play well and beat you guys' asses in the morning if I'm so able to. But you know, at the end of the day, really, you want to create a paddle for the masses.
Yes.
You know, I mean, you know, a lot of these top pro players, they're moving around equipment all the time.
They are.
You see them one day, they're using a certain racket, you know, and then the next day they're using a different one. And so they're in a different league of their own, but you want to create a paddle that's going to last. It's going to make the sport enjoyable to play that people are super confident with. And I think that's what you guys are ultimately doing.
Yeah, and our target market's not the pro level, right? That's not where we're going. We're going for the masses. So 2.0 to 4.0 is
affordable, durable.
Correct.
You know, and in the case of like the weight system and all that, something that can change really and morph depending on where you're at. Hey, maybe I'll move the weight around, and you say, oh, okay. Because that's ultimately, you remember in the golf days, you know, we played around with weight systems and different grips and all that. So it's nice to have the same paddle that can be flexible in different ways. That's really cool to put that weight system in there. And then, of course, you guys went in early on the near field communication, the NFC chip that you put into the butt of it. You just grab your paddle, you take your phone. Let's see if we can make it work here. This thing's gonna make a liar out of me here. Let's see. I just butt the end of it there. Boom, there it goes. So immediately I got a notification there, and immediately it takes me to your website, and this particular chip is going to tell me that I'm the owner of this racket. No, it's not, because I haven't registered this one yet. But I have a couple of these, but normally it gives me this. So it gives you the serial number of this paddle, which model it is, and then who the owner is.
Yep. So if you ever lost your paddle and somebody would try to register it, we'd be able to identify where that paddle is and who that person is that took it.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's good.
That's very good.
So 3 innovations: the skins, the NFC chip, and the weight system.
And the weight system, And just generally, you've designed a good paddle that plays well. Yeah, and I say that from firsthand experience, because you see me every day.
Yeah, I do.
I'm using it every morning. And we play almost every morning together.
You do.
even when nobody else is there.
Exactly. Exactly.
Awesome, Doug.
Hi, buddy.
Doug Kite,
Always
thank you
appreciate
for
it.
joining me,
Thank
man.
you, Kobe.
And Pickler Universe, thank you very much for being a huge part of MLP this year. And man, we look forward to doing this every year, right?
Exactly.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us.